So today we're going to be looking at email marketing in a nutshell. And just for those of you that are new, I'm not going to bang on too much because some of you have heard and listened to me before, so you're probably sick to death of me reciting it. But those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Natalia Nicholson. And what we do is we run a community called Women in Digital Business, which is really about running everything you need to know about running competitive analysis at your fingertips in all areas of digital marketing. So who am I? You can see the blurb. We've all got to establish ourselves as an authority, no matter what business you're in. There's people here, a marketing agency. Debbie, I know you run a travel company. Not everybody's put what they do, but you do need to make sure that you establish yourself as an authority. But outside of the whole me being a Google certified digital marketing coach, which I am, a serial entrepreneur, I've started, exited many businesses over the last 20 odd years, some hugely successful, got to 7-6 figures. Some in the beginning, in my early days, took me out of the game. I've run an e-commerce business, and it's very, very, to this day, I still run one. Feel free to look it up, NN Inspirational Gifts, and it's hard work. I'm the founder of Women in Digital Business, which is a membership site, plus it's a coaching and an agency. And even with that, that's primarily a service business. So that gives me a huge advantage of having experience of working in e-commerce with products and also with services, because how you market them can be quite different. And sometimes we can get caught up taking information and advice from someone that just might come from a specialist area. So I've had well over 20 years of experience, and it wasn't always like a walk in the park. It didn't just come to me this way that, I entered into the online world and I was successful. I literally quit my job about 18 years ago now to go full-time in my business, which was a multicultural bookstore. I thought I was going to be the next Black Amazon. But I experienced countless of costly mistakes. I really struggled to understand what a sales funnel was, building a sales funnel that converted, and just developing marketing channels whilst understanding customer psychology, technology of the digital world, and also understanding that fundamentally you have to sell in your business. They all go part and parcel. So it wasn't until really about 6 years ago I really learned how growth and strategy really helps, and having a plan. Sometimes your plan doesn't go to plan, but if you don't plan, you plan to fail. So I want all of you, as we enter into the workshop, to really analyze where you are at this moment. Identify all your half-built bridges, meaning all the things that you're starting, you're stopping, you don't see the results, so you go and try something else. You don't feel like you've done something very well, but because you haven't set up any tracking or analytics, you don't actually know. I want you to really take this training session today when it comes to email marketing and just not get caught up in shiny object syndrome, which is what causes us to have loads of half-built bridges because we don't finish anything. Okay, I want you to determine how to optimize your marketing efforts for optimum results, and we're really going to look at that. Email marketing is fantastic because it's a way for you to keep in connection with your leads and keep reminding them, I'm here. So not every time you're selling is your customer, your prospect ready to buy. So it wasn't, all these things are things that I learned in the last 6 years. They're very strategic. I want you to start thinking in a very strategic manner when it comes to marketing. If you look at the definition of marketing, marketing means the sales and promotions of products and services. Ultimately, your marketing is not successful if you're not getting return on investment. So it's important at all times you're auditing your assets to find out ways to make them work. If you don't set up analytics, if you don't score what you're doing, how do you know what you're doing well at and what to change? And these are the things that will really help you to build a future-proof funnel where you can really scale and you can get the revenue that you want. You want to get planned revenue. Quite often we're saying, I want to get to 6 figures. I want to get to 7 figures. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to apply myself. And we put blood, sweat and tears into it. But it doesn't go how we want it to go because we don't have a detailed strategic plan. And you just, without it, you just end up just chasing yourself. So that's a bit about me. Women in Digital Business, we work with women in startup. We've got a membership site. We also work with women who have got established businesses that really want to scale and also digitalize their business. We are in the digital world, and you don't want to be the blockbuster that gets left behind because someone like Netflix comes out. And we're also an agency as well, but we work with women-owned businesses. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover the 3 types of emails. Okay, the 5 types of email campaigns and the best practices, and also email KPIs, key performance indicators. Everything within your business should be about measurement. Everything should be about performance and how do we do that better. And being in the digital world is an amazing and great place to be, because this is an age where actually you get to track everything. How many of you notice that you just say a word lately and all of a sudden whatever it is that you said you're looking for is appearing on your phone, or you're getting ads for it? Okay, so we're in a time where you can really measure what you do. Oops. Right. Why am I not moving slides? Bear with me. Right, I'm back in the game. So email marketing is not dead. Some of you really would have heard that email's dead. No one doesn't open emails. Yes, admittedly, over the last 5 years, with things like Messenger, WhatsApp, Slack, and direct messaging, email isn't what it used to be. I don't know how old all of you are on this call, but I don't know if you remember, you know, when email first come out, you'd actually always be looking to see, oh, have I got a new email yet? Who's it from? Because, you know, before that, it was all paper format based and everything was done through a lot of letters. Offices would have filing, and then email came into play. But since messaging services have come out, people don't check their email so much. Since you know, spam security laws, security software, it blocks a lot of emails. GDPR, privacy laws, all these things are things that have altered your email getting through. But actually, email is still the best way for you to capture a lead that your prospect's going to feel comfortable enough to give their email address over. How many of you, when asked for your cell number or your mobile number, just free and willingly will give it and put it in a form? You don't. With email, you do. So the name of the game with email marketing, it is definitely not dead, and it's the one way to get leads and keep nurturing them so you can keep your leads warm and get them converted. You know, if you are using paid traffic to drive people to a funnel, a landing page, a website, a sales page, whatever the case may be for your funnel, if you're not collecting their data, how do you come into contact with them again? So email is a brilliant way for you to keep audiences warm. So they are key in terms of really being able to have a funnel and automation that is constantly bringing in leads, and then they're constantly converted into sales. So email marketing is a numbers game. The more and bigger your database is the better results that you're going to get, especially with some of the more challenging things around email, like GDPR, like, you know, software security that stops emails getting through to people, and a whole host of other things. So email tools, just as you wouldn't use a screwdriver to hammer in a nail, you wouldn't use the right email. You want to use the right email, sorry, for the right occasion. Emails just aren't about sending out batches of emails and flooding your customers and your marketplace. So let's look at the types of emails there are. There's 3 types of email. The first email is transactional. These are emails that typically have an exchange of vital information the customer needs, such as shipping notifications, the traffic info, more so if you're selling products, by the way. Login credentials, even if you're not selling products and you've got maybe an online product or something where your customer has to log into their account, whether it's e-commerce, whether you're a course creator, a membership site, you know, login credentials, they're key. You know, the amount of times, even I've made this mistake, that I've seen people who are course creators not make it obvious where they can log into the course, and someone's paid for something, lost the login email, but can't find to log in anywhere else. Okay. Invoices and receipts. If someone's made payment of something, you want to make sure they've got proof of that payment. Cancellation requests, terms and conditions. So these are typically sent from the customer service team. And these emails can usually be automated, whether you're using Shopify, whether you're an Amazon seller, whether you are an online course creator, whether you're selling any product or service and you've got your own bespoke site, well, like I said, you're using Shopify, these can be set up and automated, but they're usually from customer services. So while these emails are vital, they are often overlooked. A great transactional email can seriously boost customer relationships. So these emails might have been put together by your operations department for those of you that are in e-commerce. So if you had a shipping and tracking info, imagine how many of you have had that frustration of having a tracking number, and every time that you click to see where something is, it just stays in it's being shipped or it's on its way, and it just stays in that status that long, and you think, well, has it been shipped? There's no other update, because there's other applications that you've used where you've seen it will say landed at delivery office in transit, and we all like to know that the stages of it coming to us, especially when it's something important that you're waiting for. So sometimes it can be frustrating where you don't get the more detailed description. So maybe your software doesn't give detailed description of exactly where the delivery is at any point. So wouldn't it be nice in your shipping notification just to say all orders are dispatched within 24 hours? Although once it's shipped, you will see that it's on its way with you. We won't give you any further information to say where it is. However, please be assured all your packages will be within you within the next 3 working days, rather than not saying anything at all. You know, login credentials, you know, please save this. Please make sure that our email isn't in your junk. You know, just making sure, again, this is going to increase conversion to make sure that emails land. You know, invoices and receipts, if you've got any queries. Who's ever got frustrated with the fact that there seems to be, of late, no telephone number, and in some instances, not even no email where you can raise a query? So how nice would it be that even if you don't have a telephone number because you don't want the influx of calls, or maybe you want to add that on for customer services, that you say, for all invoicing queries, please contact accounts at blah, blah, blah. All queries will be answered within 24 hours. So the information that you give in transactional emails really does send out professionalism, and it really does, it heightens the experience, a better user experience for your customer. So those are transactional emails. So try and think out the box and really put your feet in the shoes of someone that's actually buying from yourselves, because we miss something here. We use a lot of swipe files and just like bog standard copy that could have been copied from somewhere or came in from somewhere else. The next type of email are promotional emails. These emails typically include some type of marketing promotional material with the goal of either driving immediate sales or driving qualified leads to your sales team. So when you're promoting, really think about what you're promoting. Also, you should always be following the 80-20 rule, meaning 80% of your content in your emails should be 80% educational and 20% promotional. Okay, you don't want to go in heavy with promotional emails. So, you know, promotional emails are copywriting heavy and often written in the voice of your brand or figurehead. So what I mean by that is, if you are sending promotional emails out, how many of you have received emails? We had this problem and I tore our emails apart. Okay. I said to my team, let's go back through these. I don't like them. They don't sound like me. They sound a bit, they sound very American. They sound like this is a swipe file. They sound like copy that's constantly used, you know, like, you know, hi there, awesome. That's not how I speak. So you want to make sure that your tone and your brand is coming through on your emails so they feel personalized. Everything about the digital world and digital marketing is about building one-to-one special relationships online. Okay, you no longer have the luxury of being in front of everyone. So everything has to revolve around relationship building, and the technology and automation makes it possible to automate, but you don't want your audience to feel like they're automated. So copywriting when it comes to email is absolutely key. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I would take the time out to get a copywriter or do some type of copywriting course or educate yourself around it so you understand how your emails are going to flow. So having a set schedule to send promotional emails is really important, but they should not be sent every day. Remember I said 80-20 rule, or it will just exhaust your email list and it will make your brand feel scammy and it will make you just feel like you're eek, eek, eek. And these are things that I've definitely done in my earlier days, and it doesn't work because all you'll do is exhaust your list and your list will become more quantity than it will quality. So take my advice. The third type of email are content emails. These emails typically include some type of valuable content with the goal of either providing value in advance or nurturing your relationship with your customers. So content emails are really, really key. They tend to be things like newsletters, free resources, product highlights. And, you know, they're great types of content to really use. And this is the content that you want. So a few tools that you can use if you're thinking, sometimes, you know, you can run out of ideas for content, and content emails are no different from social media. Just like you might have a day, just one day a week that you send out promotional email, you might have themes with your email. Okay, your audience might not be an audience that wants to hear from you too often, so you might only send emails out, sorry about that, you know, twice or three times a week. For some of you it can easily be every day, but give value in what you do. And again, copywriting is key around this as well, because you want to give content of value, but obviously your emails are free, they're not monetizing, so you don't want to be typically spending too much time, but at the same time you are nurturing a lead, so what you're saying to someone is really, really important. It's great to cause, you know, maybe have content that is controversial, reactive, so maybe you can take it into a community, a Facebook group, or somewhere else where you, on social media, where you can actually start engaging. Okay, but content emails are absolutely key. It's a huge part of content marketing. You can send content marketing out that might have a snapshot of a blog, and then they, from that blog, they click onto the full blog, which might be on your website or a third-party website, which is really going to encourage and help organic search engine optimization. And also with content emails, you get to use a matrix like the click-through rates and the email open to determine if your customer is gaining value from your content. So we often look literally every week and at month end of what were the emails that had the best open rate. And we say, right, we want to do more emails like that. So in terms of content, there's a few tools you can use. There's Ask the Public. I'm just putting it in the chat now. Ask the Public is, there's a freemium version where you can do 3 a day. So you can ask, what are people searching for in terms of your product or the market sector that you're in, which gives you an indication of things that might be trending that they're asking about that you can now cover with content. So that's a great tool to use. You've also got Bazumo, which is paid. I'm not sure if, I know they used to do a free version. I'm not sure if they do anymore, but again, it will tell you things that are trending relating to your core product offering, your audience, and your market sector. So you can use content that's trending to get more visibility and to get higher open rates, and you're actually sending out information of interest. So those are just a couple of sites that could be useful when you're looking at content emails. So part 2, we want to look at the types of email campaigns. Sorry, I just wanted a sip of my drink. And actually, I've got some water here. So email campaigns. Email campaigns welcome your new subscribers and manage their expectations. So ideally with your email campaign, you might have some type of ad if you're doing paid traffic, or you're doing some type of organic campaign where you are educating your audience and making them aware of who you are. So whether that's through paid ad or organic ads, you've got something that is leading them into your funnel. You're going to make them aware of you. Once they're aware of you in your funnel, usually what would happen in the customer value journey is that you'd want to engage with them somehow, and you want them to subscribe to a lead magnet. And we actually covered lead magnets in our last session, so we'll cover it again shortly in the coming weeks. But again, if you haven't subscribed to YouTube, check the chat out and you will see in the beginning I've put a link to the YouTube channel. So if you go and subscribe, you'll be able to get more of Women in Digital Business Marketing Corner webinars. So, you know, once you've made them aware, once you're engaged, you've offered a lead magnet, really at the stage of even from engagement or subscription, you've got their email address. So now you should set up a campaign to make sure that you are introducing them to whatever they've signed up for, and you're making sure that they have clear clarity on who you are. You're understanding them on the journey you're about to take them on. So, you know, make sure these emails are set immediately after they sign up. Okay, and this is all done through your CRM. Have a clear subject line. This just avoids confusion with your new subscribers. Sometimes even I get headlines where it's like account crisis or account query, and that's deliberately done for me to open the email. And when I open it, it's got nothing to do with that in the headline. So as much as it made me open it, am I going to take action? No. So just have a clear subject line that just avoids confusion for any new subscribers, and they understand what's being sent to them. Always give a next step. So show some content to tell them what to do next. you know, what it is you want them to do in terms of taking action. If you sign up for any of our lead magnets, you'll always get an email, or you'll get a page that comes up that will tell you to go into your email box, look for the email from us, and make sure that you check the spam, make sure that, you know, you take it out of the spam, and it's a primary email address, so you can always get emails from us, and make sure you verify the email that we've sent to you to make sure emails are getting through. And we even show like screenshots of what needs to be done. You know, people are really busy, so believe it or not, you might think, oh, that's so obvious, but people do need to be reminded of what to be done. How many of you have started doing something, logging into something, signing up for something, and then you get sidetracked by something else, and actually you don't come back to do what you're finishing? So you want to make it the process as easy as possible. You know, provide social media links. This helps to indoctrinate them by giving them more content and ways to connect with you. It's also a great way for you to establish your brand authority with them. You know, no one wants to go into a LinkedIn page that hasn't really had any postings for the last year, hasn't got any branding on it, and doesn't look like it's got any following. It's a way people are going to check you out. Once you've made someone aware of who you are and they might be interested in what you do, they are really going to start to look at you and your brand, because they're debating whether they should take their curiosity any further and explore you. They're debating whether they're going to be buying from you. So your job is to really, really make sure that you are answering any objections with your types of emails that we just covered and the email campaigns that you're running. So social media is a great way for you to really assert your brand authority. And you want a personalized greeting, so use the autofill resources to include their name. Again, this makes people feel welcomed, and it improves open rates because it's personal. Just like with the tonality of your brand and who you are, you want it to be personal, so someone feels like, you've wrote me an email. You know, we've then got engagement, or what some of us know as conversion email campaigns. These campaigns drive sales and trials for your marketing team. And for your, that says leases, it should say leads. Sorry about that. For marketing team and or leads for your sales team. Okay, again, be personal. So write from the first person, encourage replies, sound human, sound like you. People buy people. And the only way that you're going to get it to sound personal is for you to actually understand who is your audience. And again, it might sound like, oh, Natalia, of course I know who my audience is, but do you? Because sometimes we have this idea that either we're our audience as entrepreneurs, or we've got this idea of who we think our audience is. And one of the greatest things that analytics has taught me is that actually quite often who I think an audience is, I mean, I'm an experienced marketer, so often than not, I'll be on the money. But in the same breath as well, there are times where it's like, I am completely wrong. And this is, again, where, you know, measuring your results is really, really key, and scoring what you're doing so you understand, you know, who your audience is. Don't make assumptions on who your audience is. When we live in the digital age, there's actually no need to. You want to tell a story. People connect with stories. People love stories, especially stories that they can relate to or is similar to something that they've been through. It just means that if you hold a story close to their heart, what's going to happen? They're going to hold you and your business close to their heart. You know, make sure you use strong CTAs. CTAs are call to actions for anybody that doesn't know. All emails, all content, full stop, actually, should have a call to action. Whether that's a follow me, a like, a share, a sign up, a buy, it doesn't matter. It should tell you what it is that we want you to do. So make it easy to navigate. So call to great actions are great for just getting your prospect from one stage of your customer value journey, also known as the sales funnel, to another. Be more friendly, absolutely essential. You know, the world's changed. Structured emails that sound really formal are not the way to go. People engage a lot more with, you know, being friendly. And not only does your email tone need to be friendly, but it needs to be mobile friendly. How many of you get frustrated when you're looking at a email or a link or a page and it's not built for your phone? Because most people, when they're looking at something, especially if there's something they're looking for, and let's say it's not a high ticket item, they will be looking from their mobile. Even if it is a high ticket, many people use their mobile to look at things. Link your images. People want to interact with emails, so make it as much easier for them to navigate on your site. So, you know, from your email, make it easy for them to leave an email to exactly where your call to action is. People do like imagery, but then also think about the types of emails they're being delivered to and whether the image will show. Again, making sure you're doing your click-through rates, because sometimes images can make that harder, but you want to link your images. For search engine optimization, the more backlinks you have, the better. So images are great for those of you where people are looking for you and you're doing organic search engine optimization. So then we have Ascension email campaigns. These campaigns drive people to logical upsells and or incentives of early subscription updates. So make sure it's logical. Make sense? Don't give someone an upsell that doesn't apply to them. Okay, so Ascension emails is where you're going to be offering something, but it needs to be logical. So for instance, you're selling an iron, you might think, well, the upsell is an ironing board because you need an ironing board to go with an iron. But then, well, actually, logically, would you not really have an ironing board because most people are replacing an iron and not buying an iron from scratch, especially if your target audience was housewives. One would assume that really you'd already have an ironing board. Makes sense? So, you know, my dad always used to say common's not common, but us women and entrepreneurial women often are. And so just make sure it's logical, okay? Speak to the benefit. Talk about how this upside will help the customers achieve their goals. So not the feature, the benefit. Makes sense? So the benefit is, what does it look like? What does your customer, your prospect look like if they were to use the upsell? You know, if this is a diet product, it would mean by, I don't know, using this diet plan, it means they're going to achieve the goal to be the size they want to be, and they're going to be more confident, get their ideal job and just change their life around, meet the person of their dreams. You get the point. So speak to the benefit. Okay. Segmentation email campaigns. These campaigns drive people to raise their hands and show an interest in specialized offers. So segmentation ideas, you know, think of the demographics. What are you segmenting? Emails get quite complex as you grow, by the way. There's someone on here from a marketing agency. And working within an agency, really your goal would be setting up some type of email architecture and some type of tracking to track things. So really, you know, depending on how you was making your customer aware of you, let's say you had 3 different lead magnets. So let's say you had a webinar, you had a book, and you had a 5-day challenge. And it could be products. For my candles, it could be something like a candle lighter, it could be some melts, you know what I mean? It could be a subscription service. So it can be many different things depending on what your business is. But at that awareness stage where you've got 3 routes of finding your customers, for example, wouldn't you want 3 email campaigns that segment how you're finding those customers? So you know that if you've got a customer that came through the melt route, you know that these customers actually like melt and really small candles as well, for an example. Okay, melts tend to be aromatherapy candles, so you also know they're aromatherapy lovers. So for me, that means that I'm going to send those people more content around relaxation, meditation, and the reasons why you would use more of aromatherapy candles. It makes sense? So you want to segment. If you segment, it means now you can get really personal with the emails that you're sending out, and now you can also track your different types of target audiences. You know, and it's not just target audience, it's about customer avatars. You should have a customer avatar for your business, meaning that you know your customers inside and out. You know their likes, their dislikes, everything. So think about, in the first instance, how you would like to segment. For some of you, it could be through location. Maybe you want to segment those coming in from Pacific locations, because the style of language and words that are used maybe for the American, Canadian, or English market is different. So by having that local banter, for want of a better term, means that you can build a more personal relationship with your prospect. So think about how you're going to segment your audience. Would it be through demographics, so information like age, gender, company position, income level? Could it be through quiz results? Quiz funnels are an excellent way to go, where, you know, you can say to people, kind of the travel company on there, what type of travel do you like? What would be the best suited type of holiday for your personality? Okay. Even in marketing agents, if you're working there, running quizzes is a great way to segment audiences. So create a quiz or a survey, getting to know your customers' interests and segments based on the results. Email engagement, sector by active and inactive. So we've got a really large database at Women in Digital Business, but some of it's really active and some of it's inactive. So we make a conscious effort every month to make sure that we have campaigns going out saying, if you don't want to receive emails from us, if you're not giving you any value, please just simply click here and, you know, we'll remove you. So it keeps our list clean, and it also gets us to understand our email engagement. And there are times when we only send emails out to our active list and we don't send it out to our inactive list. Okay. Geographic areas, send time-based emails, regional advertisements, locally timed webinars. So maybe you want to segment geographically. You know, maybe you're based in America or somewhere like Australia, wow, where there's so many different time zones. Okay, past purchases and recommended based on prior purchases. So you might segment your list to the types of purchases. I do that with my gift business because my hero product's candles. Amount spent, you know, recommend products in the similar price range from past amounts. There are a lot of apps and plugins that you can use, especially on Shopify, or if your e-commerce site's built on WordPress. And even if you're selling an information product, depending on where you built that information or app, there are softwares that you can plug in to make sure that you can get that information. But I want you to understand the power of segmentation, of being able to talk to customers differently depending on what type of customers they are. And this will show you that in the beginning, you want to niche down. If you've got too many different segments and you've got no team and you're a solopreneur, could you imagine how hard that will be? You've then got re-engagement email campaigns. So these campaigns strive to reach out to less active customers and attempt to encourage them to interact more frequently. Engagement can be quite tough. Engagement is that stage that your prospect knows who you are and they're making their mind up whether they're going to buy from you or not. And your job is to engage them with the objections of sales, and to make sure that you are re-engaging with them to keep the spark of the relationship there. So help re-engage subscribers to your list. When it comes to email marketing, this is something that is ongoing and should be done weekly or monthly. You know, lets you know who to remove from your list. So we've got a rule: if someone's been inactive for 90 days or more, we actually automatically remove them. There's different laws. It's something that you can research. This is something that, if you're a member in Power, that we actually cover in our membership site. So, you know, important for maintaining list hygiene. That's what it's called. The overall health and effectiveness of your email list is really, really important. Because otherwise, you've just got a whole load of dead, non-responsive leads that aren't going to turn into sales. And now you really want to make sure you're not missing out on any leads. So you need to make sure that you're doing re-engagement all the time. And it helps keeps your ESB spam rates low as well. So asking people if they want to be removed, removing people after a certain length of time that haven't engaged with you absolutely at all. You know, it's just a great way to make sure that your list is healthy and clean. And then at all times, you want to make sure, as you start growing your customer database, you are re-engaging subscribers so they want to stay and they are present. So the last part that we're going to cover today is emails best practices even. So never run 2 monetization campaigns at the same time. It just exhausts your list and turns your brand into a seam account. It makes it seem like all you're after is money, money, money. Leave space between your monetization campaigns to avoid people unsubscribing or losing interest in your business. Now, this one might seem like, you know, yeah, that's true, that bit of a no-brainer. I have been guilty of this, most definitely, because what happens is you're growing and you've got more products going out, you've got a lot of emails going out. and there's different offerings going on because there's different women who are at different stages of their business. But actually, all it does is just causes confusion. It also makes your end user feel like you're just like selling to me. Is it just like you want your money, or do you want to help me? You can lose that authenticity of self. We all serve our customers. We've all got a passion and love for what we do, but you want to make sure that your prospect and customer feel like you serve them at the greatest and deepest depth, and you should. It's just the laws of life. You reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. When your business serves someone and it comes from a good place on your why, you will get rewarded. Sometimes it might feel like you're trying and you can't get ahead, but I promise you will get rewarded for it. So never run 2 monetization campaigns at the same time. It can make your audience just feel like, oh, asking me for money again, oh, selling me something, and it just exhausts your list, and it just turns your brand into something that it's not. So webinars is something that many of you will use as some type of lead magnet. And the best days to host webinars on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Interestingly enough, I would love to hear from you on this call of what days and times do you prefer to have webinars. Like, if you're not sure, just do what I just did. Ask your audience. So actually, I am interested to know. Please do type it in the chat. I do 2 p.m. because I generally do the school run. Kids are at home at the moment, but I do the school run. Sometimes for me, mornings can be a bit hectic. Sometimes by the end of the day, I think that's the best time, but my brain's just too dead. And also for me, I've got a global audience, so 2 o'clock allows different time zones to log on. But I'm interested to hear from those of you who are here with me now. Pop it in the chat. Which days and times for you do you prefer? But generally, when it comes to webinars, it's Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And this is because most people reserve the bandwidth for the middle of the week. Monday is usually reserved for getting the week set up. And if you're anything like me, you're still doing this on Tuesday. And Fridays is winding down of the week. That's the day for me I actually get my house in order. Okay, so best times to close a sale is a Wednesday or Thursday. Again, this is not a strict rule. These are just general rules in terms of you sending out emails. It depends on what you sell. I used to be a really successful eBay seller, and I still sell stuff from eBay. I've kind of passed it over to my kids. And eBay, the best time to put something up to sell on a 7-day auction would be a Sunday. It would always sell doing it Sunday to Sunday. Doing a Monday to Monday or Tuesday to Monday, the beginning of the week, you'd always get a poor result. So you need to make sure, again, you're in tune with your customer, your marketplace, and any evidence that you might have. And this is why analytics and scoring is so important, that you might have that might indicate otherwise. But generally, general thumb of rule, the best time to close sales is on a Wednesday or Thursday. This is coordinated with sales teams, because usually if a sales team that's on the phone, maybe cold calling, these are the busiest times during the week. Okay. Schedule the email in your schedule your emails in your campaign to go out. Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. So we generally send emails out for a lot of our clients around about 7 a.m. because it's in their inbox when they get to work, for example. So again, think about your audience. Your audience should be at the forefront of everything in terms of deciding what you're going to do, but schedule your emails. You don't want this to take over your life. This is just one part of marketing and one segment of your business. So schedule your emails in, just like how you would schedule your social media calendar. In fact, it's actually quite similar. So this is just a general email engagement. Email engagement is the highest at this time, Monday to Thursday at 9 p.m. It's the beginning of the workday for most people. It's when they are most active on their email accounts because they've just logged in or gone into work. But don't forget to allocate for the different time zones. So this comes back into segmentation. If you did not segmentate your list, if you're global, into different regions, well, this is going to be a problem for when you send your emails out. And again, these are all mistakes over the years that even I've made that I'm talking about. You know, we segmented our list from our Facebook ads, but actually within our CRM, the segmentation didn't carry when the emails were automatically updated and uploaded into our CRM. So now we've had to make sure that on all our forms, we now ask, what country do you come from? Okay. All these things are really important, as otherwise you're constantly going back and undoing things. So when you're at the beginning of your journey, these are the things that you really want to get right. Split your email list into at least two segments. So the two really are engaged and unengaged. So if no one's purchased in the past 30 days, depending on what your sales track record is, they're going to get a different email to those that have purchased in the last 30 days. Because those that have purchased in the last 30 days, you might upsell them or want to educate them about something completely different to someone that hasn't made any purchase or not opened up an email, got poor click-through rate. You might want to do something that's really going to try and wake them up. So take the best performing emails from your engaged list and actually send them to your unengaged list. The data will tell you what to do. We decide our content for email marketing based on the open rates of successful emails. So this gives your less interested audience your top content and increases the chances that they can become engaged because you know that that content has engaged. So again, the stats that you get, you want to know bounce rates, open rates. That information is so key when you're sending out emails. Make sure your email marketing campaigns are aligned with your company's promo calendar. Okay, what's in your promotional calendar? It's back to school in September. Does that impact your business? Is that something that will help sales? Is that something, someone needs from you or you can assist with this because that's in the calendar? October here in the UK is Black History Month. We've got Diwali towards the end of the year, which is a Hindu festival. We've got Christmas, which is a Christianity festival. We've got the Chinese New Year's in January, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day in March here in the UK, but in May in the US and Canada. Look at your promotional calendar, look at key dates in your calendar that actually are key for your product or service. So you can imagine being in e-commerce, we're starting to plan for Christmas from now because that is our biggest time of sales. So make sure your email marketing is aligned with your company's promo calendar. So can you see what I say what I mean, should I say, that it's like social media. It's like social media. You want an email marketing calendar. You are talking directly to your customers. You're building a relationship. It shouldn't just be a churn of emails and just email letters. It doesn't mean anything to anyone. So the last part is actually email metrics, which for me is absolutely key. You should be tracking at all time open rates, click rates. Okay, what's the click rates to the links in your email? Click to open rates, unsubscribe rates, spam rates. We've had to work really hard on our spam rates. There's a lot of powerful CRMs. So some of our clients, we use active campaigns. For some of those are a lot bigger. We're use Keep, which used to be Infusionsoft. Because of all of our courses and memberships and all of our digital products are available on Kajabi, we use their CRM, but even we're having to get to a stage where we're going to have to use something more sophisticated because we're not getting the data we need on the spam rates and where our emails are going. Metrics when it comes to emails and taking a deep dive in terms of keeping your email list clean, healthy, removing those that have got no interest in buying from you, and really looking at open rates. What subjects are really popular that have been opening? You must have offered something and had a call to action in the email. Is anybody even clicking on that? Because if you've got a great open rate but a really bad click rate, well, whatever's inside the email is presenting a problem. So look at the click to open rates. You might have a low open rates, but those who are opening are clicking on the information within the email. Make sense? Do you have loads of people unsubscribing? Are you just sending way too many emails? So, you really want to be, and you make sure you're downloading all of this. Every CRM that you use, regardless of whether it's Aweber, Active Campaign, MailChimp, not my favorite, no matter what CRM that you are using, it's going to be able to give you analytics and tracking information that's going to tell you and help you how to get better. So that was an introduction into email marketing, and I really hope that you found that useful.